So hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the season 7 trailer for The Walking Dead. Obviously I put up a reaction clip for it and it was the first time I'd seen the trailer, so there was a lot of things that I hadn't picked up on or that I didn't notice. So after watching the trailer back like 100 fucking times, there's a lot more that you pick up on. There's a lot more to the trailer than you initially see when you watch it for the first time. So I just kind of wanted to go through the things that I saw and things that I noticed. Alright, so the trailer opens up with Negan saying, "I'm gonna beat the holy hell out of one of you." Great start. Already we're straight fucking into it then. It shows a close-up of each of the characters in Negan's lineup with kind of flashbacks layered over them. I thought the editing in this part of the trailer was absolutely unreal. The contrast between where they are at the moment, like kneeling in front of Negan, compared to the memories that's shown on screen of like happier times, of better days. And I think as well the flashbacks, they were supposed to kind of show what each individual character had to live for or had to lose. Because with Rick and Carl, you see them kind of, the flashbacks for the two of them, they're very similar, they're kind of about each other. The flashbacks for Glenn and Maggie involve each other as well. Like for the flashbacks for Maggie, you have the scene where she tells Glenn that he won't need a photograph of her anymore because, you know, she's never going to leave him. For Carl, we see Rick telling him that he loves him. For Daryl, we have a lot of scenes with him and Carl, and we have the Cherokee Rose scene where he says, "I believe this one bloomed for your little girl." You know, with Eugene, you have him saying, "I'm a survivor now." With Abraham, you have the scenes between him and Sasha. But it was actually Sasha's flashback that kind of interested me the most, because all the other flashbacks showed what each character had to live for, what they've been through, their happy moments or like happier times. But with Sasha, it didn't show Tyrese or Bob, and they were two massive characters in relation to her. Instead, it showed Sasha smiling with Abraham. So I think again the flashbacks are more like happier times and what could be if they survived this and they survived this scene, what the future could hold for them. So that fucking scene with all the flashbacks just absolutely killed me. Like the second it started and I saw that it was flashbacks of them being happy, I was like, oh god, please don't cry. And then of course Negan does a "You are it" after all the flashbacks have happened, and then we see that lovely close-up of Lucille. And that's what I think the most interesting thing about this trailer was that the trailer was pretty much centred all around Negan and Lucille. I mean, I know for the first like minute or minute and 15 seconds or however long the flashback scenes were. After those, it's pretty much all about Negan. Like you have Negan narrating the trailer, you have close-ups of Lucille, you have close-ups of Negan. I think this trailer is trying to hint at the fact that this is going to be Negan's season. That finally he's on screen, finally we're going to see him, we're going to get to see his character. The Lucille death is going to happen. And for fans of the comics as well, like they've been waiting so long to see this on screen, to see it play out, that of course AMC, they're going to play up this scene. Like everyone's saying, oh, they're dragging it out, they're dragging out the Lucille death. Because it has to be. It's a massive part in the comics, it's going to be a massive part in the show. They can't just show one scene like boom, someone's dead, oh no, move on. They want to drag it out, they want to build up anticipation because it's going to be a turning point for the show and for all the characters. So I think going by this trailer, it's pretty clear that Negan's going to be a focal point of season 7 and I can't wait. And a lot of people are kind of arguing over the fact as well that people are excited to see Negan, but he's a massive character. Of course he's a bad guy, of course he's not a nice fella, but his arrival to the show is going to change so much, it's going to influence so much. Obviously someone's going to die, but then you have his kind of relationship with Rick, possibly his relationship with Carl, and it's kind of like, he's kind of like the Governor in a way. I mean, I know his character is nothing like the Governor, but he's going to be the guy that you're going to kind of love to hate. He's such an important part of the storyline that, like I said in my reaction, he's the one that I'm most excited to see this season. Then a little bit further into the trailer we see that Carol is still alive. The bit where she goes, "I have no idea what's going on." Oh my god, that made me laugh because when I was first watching it I was like, same girl, same. But watching it back then you see that there's a nice shot of the kingdom. If you look closely you can see that Morgan is wheeling Carol around in the wheelchair, meaning Morgan and Carol are both in the kingdom now. They're supposedly fine. We see a woman talking and she says, you know, no matter what Negan does, whatever, there's always more. Maybe she's one of his wives. She's clearly somebody that knows him well or has been in the community for a while. We then see Spencer saying, you know, maybe we should have made a deal when we had the chance. Maybe this could all backlash on Rick. Maybe the group are going to be pissed at him for not trying to make a deal or trying to settle it. Maybe people are seeing now that Rick didn't handle it in the way that he should have. Because a lot of people have been saying that the finale was pretty much focused on Rick's downfall, and that's very true. It focused on the fact that Rick, even though he tried his best, he still failed. He still didn't have control of the situation. The decisions that he made led him and his group to Negan's lineup. But I think that no matter what he had done, and no matter what way he'd chosen to handle that situation, he would have ended up there eventually anyway. But I think now we're going to see the aftermath and the fallout of whatever death occurs, like whoever Negan kills with Lucille. The backlash of that is going to be so interesting to watch. I think it's going to be really fascinating to see how people deal with the death, to see how Rick deals with it, to see how people treat Rick after it happens. We also have a nice shot of it's looking through like a window or something, and we see Negan with his arm around Olivia. Now Olivia is from Alexandria. She was kind of a smaller character in season 6, but seeing Negan with his arm around her kind of hints like, is she going to be one of his wives? Is there something going to happen there? Or is Negan just trying to really, you know, hit the point home that he now has control over everyone and he owns the place? Then we have the scene of Dwight on a bike. Now a friend of mine, David, pointed out to me that Dwight looks like he's wearing Daryl's clothes and it looks like he's on Daryl's bike. Now I didn't notice this first time round, I just saw Dwight's face and thought, oh Christ, it's him again. But looking back on it, it does look like Daryl's clothes. I mean, we don't see the back of the vest, which would show the wings, which would, you know, which would validate the point that it is Daryl's vest. We don't see that, but it does look like his clothes and his bike. And if Dwight has his clothes and his bike, where the fuck is Daryl? Is he walking around naked? Is he wearing someone else's clothes? What's going on? Is he even alive? We have a lot of badass action scenes. We see Jesus in a lot of action. And then of course the scene that everyone's talking about is one of the last scenes that we see is Ezekiel and Shiva. The small little snippet that we got of the two of them fucking blew me away. I'd heard that Shiva was going to be in this season and so was Ezekiel. But from what I read that Shiva was going to be mostly animatronics or CGI or stuff like that. So when I saw Shiva in the trailer, I was just blown away by how realistic it looked. Like, it looked like a real fucking tiger. Now of course it probably is CGI or green screen or some trick like that, but it looked incredible and I'm dead impressed with how realistic they got it to look. And then of course the trailer ends completely with Tara. At the end of season 6 or towards the end of season 6, she went off with Heath. Poor Tara never found out about Denise being killed. I'm guessing she does in the start of season 7 or sometime in the future. But from the snippet in the trailer, it looked like she was with Heath. It looked like she still hadn't returned from that run. Maybe they got into a bit of bother. Maybe the Saviours picked them up and they escaped. But I was really happy to see Tara again because she just kind of disappeared towards the end of season 6 and nobody's really been talking about her much. So I'm glad that she was included in the trailer and that her storyline is still relevant and it looks like the shit's gonna go down with Tara. I feel so bad for her though. Denise is like the second girlfriend she's lost. For fuck's sake, can she not just be happy for a while? Can they not just leave her alone? But anyway, based on the trailer, it looks like season 7 is going to be really high-paced, high action, obviously. It looks like they've put a lot of effort as well into the special effects. I read on Twitter that Greg is going to try out some new looks on walkers, new types and styles of walkers, which I can't wait to see as well, because you all know I fucking love Greg Nicotero. The thing I found most interesting about the trailer was after the flashback scenes, we don't see any of the main characters again in the trailer. Obviously, you know, it starts off with the flashbacks, but then it's all action scenes. It's like, you see Negan, you see Jesus, you see Morgan and Carl, you see Tara and Heath, but like you don't see Rick or Daryl or Michonne or Maggie or Glenn or any of the main characters that were in Negan's lineup. I thought that was such an interesting and really fucking clever way of hiding who died, because like everyone was saying, and like I myself said, I was really interested to see how they were gonna do a trailer but not give away who died, because if they had done like a regular trailer, if they'd included the main characters, you would have seen and been able to point out who was missing from the trailer. So by eliminating everybody, all the main characters, they kind of ensured that they weren't giving anything away, that there wasn't an absence of one particular character. So I thought that was such a smart way of doing it. But I think with the arrival of Negan, season 7 is going to be a lot different to previous seasons we've seen. He's pretty much unlike any character that we've seen so far. His arrival is really going to alter the show and the group and everything got to do with The Walking Dead. I've seen some people bitching online about Negan, about how it's so drawn out, about how everything's about Negan. Yeah, because it's Negan's arrival. He's such a fucking monumental character in the show, and this particular scene is probably the main or the biggest scene that has been in The Walking Dead so far, both comics and show. So of course they're going to build it up and, you know, make it bigger and build anticipation and all that. So when you think about it, we didn't really see much of the Negan lineup in the finale. There was like, it was like, what, the last 10 minutes or something of the last episode. That's all we got to see of Negan really. So after building him up for so many episodes, I'm excited to finally see him. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan really kind of understands Negan's character, and it looks like he's going to do a fantastic job. So that was just my thoughts really on the trailer. And of course I want to hear all your opinions as well, so leave them down below. You know I always reply to you and I read them. I just think that this was the strongest trailer that we've seen so far because it was cloaked in so much mystery. Like, they were showing us so much but still, like, really not showing us much or anything at all. Not even making sense. This trailer has me so fucking excited that I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. So we know we're going to see the kingdom, we know we're going to see Ezekiel and Shiva, and of course Negan, the Saviours, his crew, all of that. Looks like they're really stepping up their game, they're trying to make the show fresh. It looks like a lot of effort went into this. It went into the trailer, obviously, into the actual show itself, the production. The actors put in so much effort. I can't wait to see the finished product because they've been working so hard as well to keep everything a secret and to keep it a mystery until it airs, that I'm really excited to see it. People, of course, there's people that will tear the trailer to shreds, that will tear the show to shreds and say all this negative shit. But at the end of the day, my opinion is it's just an awesome show. Everyone involved in it works so hard and they're so proud of what they're putting out into the world. And I can't wait to finally see it, even though it's still over 3 months away. Fucking hell. I was kind of okay. I was fine with waiting, and then they showed the trailer and it was like the fucking cliffhanger all over again. I was like, suddenly I was super pumped all over again, and then I still had to wait 3 more months, so that is just my little opinion. Let me know what you guys thought, and I will talk to you all soon.